Hello, nerds! Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is the Week in Nerdom, your source for all the nerdy headlines. For today's video, we are really running the gamut. We have a little bit for all 5 of our regular topics, but first... First up is a quickie in music news. It's being reported, and from really reliable sources, that Scott Stapp, the lead singer of Creed, or the former lead singer of Creed, has signed a deal with legendary metal record label Napalm Records. Does this mean we're going to see a new heavy direction from the man who once thought himself Jesus? No, probably not. Diving headfirst into TV news, we have a little tease about the Jessica Jones final season. Showrunner Melissa Rosenberg took to Twitter to let us know that we haven't quite seen the last of Kilgrave. And speaking of Netflix, they just announced a Green Eggs and Ham series. According to Slash Film, the cast that has been announced is very intriguing. We have Michael Douglas as Guy I Am, the Reluctant Eater, Diane Keaton as a character named Michellee, Eddie Izzard is the evil overlord named Snerz. I don't remember that from the book. Jeffrey Wright and Jillian Bell as a pair of villains named McWinkle and Gluntz. Adam Devine as protagonist Sam I Am. Keegan Michael Key will be the narrator of the story. In smaller roles, we have John Turturro, who will be the voice of a goat. Tracey Morgan will voice a fox, and David Diggs will voice a mouse. Staying on Netflix for just a moment longer, we have the follow-up to the crazy awesome Haunting of Hill House. The next season of what is now going to be a proper anthology series has been announced as The Haunting of Bly Manor, which will be an adaptation of the gothic novella The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, according to Deadline. Next up, we have Night Flyers, and it seems that just because you got the rights to do a George R.R. Martin property does not mean you instantly have a mega hit. Because Sci-Fi has just announced, according to Spoiler TV, that the series will not get a second season. Then there's more Star Wars headed down the pike. This time, it's a report from Making Star Wars. They are claiming that the Obi-Wan movie that we were supposed to get up until pretty recently has now been shifted into a series on Disney+. No other information for it has been leaked just yet, so let's jump over to Hulu. And expanding on the announcement that we got a couple episodes ago, Kevin Smith took to his Instagram to reveal a couple of pretty interesting things. First up, we are going to be getting an animated duck version of Jay and Silent Bob, though if we're honest with ourselves, that shouldn't be really much of a surprise. The real surprise is that we're getting Leah Thompson in an undisclosed role. Will we be seeing an animated Beverly Switzler? Probably. Yeah, that's a likely thing. Switching gears over to movies, we have another WB Animated Studios announcement. This time it comes in the form of Wonder Woman Bloodlines, and Revenge of the Fans is reporting the following as the voice cast, though none of the roles have been announced, just the casting. We have Rosario Dawson, Nia Vardalos, Adrienne C. Moore, Constance Zimmer, Courtney Taylor, Cree Summer, Kimberly Brooks, Marie Avgeropoulos, Michael Dorn, yeah, that guy, Mozan Marno, and Ray Chase. Again, all of these roles are undisclosed currently, though that is reportedly the cast. Next, according to the Twitter account for the third Bill and Ted movie, Face the Music goes into production later this month. So we're that much closer to seeing Bill and Ted 3. And then a quickie Star Wars update. We have news from Star Wars News Net, they are claiming that the wait for the first trailer of episode 9 is almost over. Reportedly, it is going to be packaged in April with the Avengers Endgame movie. On to gaming, we have a pretty big announcement from Nintendo of America. It seems that President Reggie Fils-Aime, I'm pretty sure is how you pronounce his name, he will be retiring as of April 15th from 15 years with the company. And then the appropriately named Doug Bowser will step in to replace Fils-Aime once he is no longer with the company. Then we have an interesting bit from Blizzard. They've been doing some sneaky teases recently, seemingly implying that we are getting a new hero for Overwatch. It's been pretty vague, though the hardcore community is convinced that all of these teases are for a new hero named Baptiste. As for the actual reveal, how it will happen, when it will happen, if it happens, mum's the word over at Blizzard so far. And then a final shift in gears brings us to comic books. This week in comic books, we got an announcement from Marvel. There will be a complete collection of the most emo of all the Peter Parker, well, maybe not the most emo, but Spider-Man Noir is getting a Comics Pro collection that will be hitting shelves in May this year. Also starting this May, over on the DC side of comic books, is a major event that DC is calling Deceased. Based off of the description alone, the series is garnering some comparisons to the Marvel Zombies series, and whether or not it's going to be an Elseworlds still remains to be seen. It is set to be helmed by writer Tom Taylor, who also penned some of the Injustice books, and Trevor Harrisine, Stefano Gudiano, and James Herron will be on the art duties. And then our final piece for this episode of Your Week in Nerdom comes from the likes of Marvel. And it seems that they did a little bit of retconning in the most recent issue of Immortal Hulk, number 13. Now, it's a retcon for the origin of the character. If you remember, everyone basically knows that Bruce Banner was exposed to gamma radiation, and that is what turns him into the Hulk. That explains the Jekyll and Hyde nature of things, but Marvel, in their ultimate wisdom, has deemed that all of their backstories need something else these days, and this time it's an element of magic. Now, according to official canon, gamma radiation opens up the green door, which on the other side of the green door is the one below all. Basically the devil in the Marvel Universe, and whoever is on the opening side of the door, being, in this case, Bruce Banner, the one below all turns into his avatar on Earth, which then allows Marvel to muck up their universe even more with more avatars for the one below all. And they've already started doing that with Sasquatch and the Absorbing Man. So that's a thing now. And that is how we do the headlines here on Generally Nerdy. What did I miss? What should we talk about in the next episode? Let me know in the comments down low. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, then there is a website, generallynerdy.net. That is where you can find all the links to the social medias and all the freebies. Or there's a Patreon if you want to support the channel more directly, patreon.com/generallynerdy. There is even more content up on the Patreon, so check that out, patreon.com/generallynerdy. If you're new here, subscribe. If you liked the episode, then let me know that. If you didn't like the episode, then you can let me know that too. If you are falling behind, though, on your nerd news and you want to catch up, then you can click or tap that box right there to the left of my face to do that. But first, before you do that, before you click boxes and go to websites and all the other stuff, guys, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.